Hi there, DeeperNaut, and welcome to this video, which is a screen recording of a roundtable hosted by FarmScent, and it features Eric Ma from DeeperNetwork. Network. Now, Eric Ma, his job is basically to go out there, push the network, put out the good word, and get people into it. And he did a really good job here, and there's a lot of really good stuff which got brought up in this round table. Content warning, there is some bad language from a certain person. It was pretty funny, but, you know, still, if you don't like that kind of thing. And, yeah, so enjoy it. It's worth a listen because all these projects are involved in the future of DePin, so it's really important to kind of get a grasp of the industry and where it's going. And Eric Ma did really well. You'll also notice the really good words they had to say about us as well, which is really good. So enjoy it, and have a great weekend.
Yoke, let's start. I think the speakers are going to show up. Let's do it.
Awesome, guys. GM. I'm sure while we are just looking forward to Token 2049, there are a lot of things to talk. So we have some amazing guests. Salah has updated me all about yourself, but I would love if everybody give a round of introduction first. Salah, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Guys, please introduce yourselves, the speakers.
I think let me do that. Hi, thanks, thanks, Ella, for having us. I am Prakash. I take care of founders of it office at Spheron, and Spheron is building permissionless, decentralized infrastructure for AI, so anybody can contribute their GPUs, and which basically acts as DePin 2, and anybody can contribute GPU to their Spheron network, and that can be utilized by our toolkits and SDKs, which are right out of the box. So that's what Spheron does, and glad to be in this space.
Amazing. Guys, speakers, everybody please go one by one so it's a lot easier.
Sure. I'll go second. Yeah, I'm Laser, the co-founder of Star Power. Yeah, Star Power, we are people-powered virtual power plant. You can treat us as the energy deeping project, and we started funded like January last year, fully focused on deeping energy, almost 1.5 year. And I previously was in HashKey, was the assistant to the chairman of HashKey for almost 5 years, and super glad to be here with you all.
Welcome.
Hello, everyone. You guys hear me?
Loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Amazing. So, hello, everyone. Zero Slam from doing operations and marketing at Mask. Thrilled to be here today to introduce you to Mask. I want to thank FarmScent for the invitation. Mask is a project that's been 5 years in the making, and it is set to redefine how we experience internet freedom. We have built a DMesh VPN that helps secure and help users enjoy like private browsing experiences free from censorship and surveillance.
Beautiful.
Hey guys, this is Eric Ma. I'm the chief evangelist for DeeperNetwork, and very happy to be here talking to you guys about DePin. DeeperNetwork is a project that is focused on decentralized VPN, and there's no fees. It's hardware VPN. Within the device, also there's cybersecurity and allows people to do Web3 mining. So very interesting project for everyone. I think it's very useful, and we'll be talking about how we can work with other peoples in the future to grow DePin in Web3. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hi, York. I think I'm the last one, right? Hello.
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear
Cool.
you. You're not
Hi,
the
hello,
last.
everyone. My
You're
name
not
is
the last.
okay. My name is Ting. I'm the founder and the CEO of Harpon. Now we are building a decentralized charging network for four-wheel cars and also two-wheel e-motors in Southeast Asia. So we started Harpon 2 years ago. And that time there's no this kind of buzzword like DePin, DREP. We just want to use blockchain, give people incentive to share their private charger to a public one. So it's very simple. I like DP. Before we moved to actually DePin sector, I worked in crypto for 5 years. I started my career from 2016. You know, at that time, I'm the co-founder and the CVO of Quartz. Quartz is a high-performance scalability platform. Tried at that time very hard to compete with Ethereum, but we are all killed by Ethereum. So after 5 years, I realized that the tipping point is coming. We can research, use all this kind of the technology stack to provide some real stuff, try to resolve some real problem. So I think actually this is the whole story behind PowerPoint and the history behind DP. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Like we guys heard about you when DeepIn wasn't DeepIn. So yeah, great meeting you here. Today we have a special guest from Star Power World. You know, we often say that DeepIn is going to change the crypto landscape. It is going to reward you for doing certain actions. But saving energy and receiving reward is like a double benefit, right? But I don't want to spoil it. Let's hear from Star Power Network, what the Star Power World, what they think, how they are different from other DeepIn, what's in cards. And all the speakers, please keep asking any questions. It's an open house.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Great. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. Actually, very happy to support this space, and I will keep the introduction models very short. So Star Power, we are a people-powered virtual power plant. You can regard us as the Uber of energy internet. We connect your home appliances like your air conditioner, like your water heater, and your electric vehicle, solar panels, and so after we connected all these energy resources, we help the grid to uh, keep stabilized because there are like the more and more volatility caused by renewable energy. Like say in California, we have the electricity from solar, which is bigger than the energy consumption in this region. So which caused like way more volatility to the regional grid system. And this requires us to have enough energy resources to stabilize the volatility. For example, like if there is like peak load hour, during the peak hour, uh, what we can do is to either supply energy to the grid, or we ask our users to reduce their energy consumption or shift their energy consumption to another hour. So by this way, we can stabilize the grid. And this is like the only like the sole bottleneck of installing more renewable energy. So if we can help accelerate solve this problem, this means we can have more renewable energy installed in the certain region. And so specifically for right now, so I'm more in charge of the Web3 part, and another co-founder, Dr. Darcy, he's in charge of the energy part. And so we are very focused in Australia market because we like mentored by Professor Martin Green. Professor Martin is the inventor of photovoltaics in 1980s, almost 40 years ago. and we have we have kept shipping cheaper and better PV for solar panels and the batteries for the past decades. So for Star Power, we actually like the overlap of traditional renewable energy industry and the Web3 world. So yeah, and founded January last year, and quite focused on DePin energy. And I think I just found this year we have like many energy DePin projects got funded by the leading VCs. I think it's a great signal. And today we also have Mr. Ting, PowerPoint. They are good friends and here to share more of the information insights about energy deep inside. Yeah, super glad to be here.
I have a question. So I'm seeing that there is a surge in a lot of energy deep in projects. While it is very difficult to say, and I should say very early to say who's going to get the success, in your opinion, what do you think is the ingredient? Because you've been working for quite some time. What do you think other energy deep in projects should focus?
Okay. Sorry. My network is not quite stable. You mean what it takes is quite hard for other deepin projects to sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, from our angle, I think we all believe here that DePin it is kind of harder than DeFi because it requires hardware, the knowledge in hardware and the experience in the traditional industry, like energy industry. We are focusing on, and like I think like deeper network is about the VPN industry. So that requires multidisciplinary experience and requires higher investment, both hardware and software side. So, and the third hurdle, maybe the difficulty is from the regulatory entity. So, like for like us, so we are focusing on the energy, and we are facing the challenge from the regulatory entities like the local utility grid operators. We need to cooperate with them to make this model happen in the certain region. So yeah, there was a bunch of difficulties for DePin projects. I think this is also the reason why you can't find many DePin projects compared with DeFi Summer. There was like hundreds. It can just pop up within like 1 month.
I've been using Deeper for quite some time though. Amazing services.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we have a lot more
So
to come. Our app's coming out, and it's all about empowering the people. And I think the more the network grows,
Yeah, Deeper is a amazing consumer product.
absolutely,
thank you.
I've been very happy. You guys have rolled out the products, especially because we keep traveling. So the more smaller devices, the better it is. Yeah. So
I
any
think
guests
if we
have
are
any
speaking of
question for?
smaller devices, I think there is some plug I want to do, like what we are working specifically, which is would be on DeepIn right now, is that we are trying to connect as much GPU hardware on top of our network. As I think, as mentioned, that DeepIn is a really sophisticated space, and DeepIn was not actually called DeepIn, was with like in some time, and now it has prolonged and matured into, and also some narrative play to that as well of DeepIn. But this is what at Ferron we are trying to focus on. I remember meeting Ting, and I haven't met you, Yog, or even Ding, but hopefully I would love to catch you guys in token as well. So, but I think that's what our focus is to create more of a layer which helps any user to connect their GPU on top of Spheron. And like we need to really focus on real world use cases apart from very sophisticated or niche use cases where people can actually come up and do something on top of that DePin. Like I can give you example of Puffpaw as well. I don't know if you guys have heard it, that vape company just recently raised around 6 million, right? It sounds amazing, right? And it sounds on the contradiction like how it did that happen, but they're creating something which is more of a real world use case for every end consumer, and that I feel that Stephen should be really focused upon. So that's my 2 cents I wanted to add into this.
I absolutely agree. Yeah, also, I'm looking forward to meeting you sometime. Um, yeah, seeing you. King, you want to add something because this is your subject?
Yes, I have feeling that the energy is the most challenging part for whole deeping industry. You know, not only like Dean mentioned that it is related about the software, hardware, and also local partners. But also, I feel you know the energy is not that kind of crypto native. You know, in crypto, we want to change the world in 1 year, but in energy, you cannot do that kind of thing. So it's quite different from like DRAM, like GPU, like all these wireless, like helium, because the energy is born to be decentralized. You have to build your node, your charge station, your solar panels one by one, and try to link them together. So you have to keep in the balance of the supply and demand. So that's why I think the energy, in the whole DP, Dean mentioned that is we have less projects compared to DeFi, but in the energy, I think there's only maybe 6 to 10 projects. Yeah, but actually last month in New York, I noticed that the energy is the most hot topic in the whole summit. Why? Because I can say energy is more challengeable for everyone compared to AI, because AI follows scaling law. The big company always have the scale advantage, but the energy belongs to everybody. If you have a solar panel, you have power wall, you have a charger, you always can make some little bit of passive income. So that's why I believe the energy actually, so like I said, belong to everybody. If you have this kind of hardware, you can make money both from a stablecoin income plus a token rewards. So I want to say, actually, the energy, the sector is have enough room for everybody. There should be more projects came to this sector. So yeah, we will see what will happen next 6 months or 1 year. I think there will be something will be changed. Just like Daylight, I like Daylight. The project is very good. They try to resolve one simple problem. They use one unified protocol to link all the hardware in your home site. So they want to realize the independence of the home energy system. So yeah, but like PowerPod, we try to focus one specific area. We just actually unify the charge station. So yeah, this is very interesting. But right now, still, it's very hard to say who will succeed in the future. Because yeah, I have no clue for actually what the success key factors to succeed in the future. But we are trying different angles right now.
I think another important thing, and I'm just extending your point of demand and supply. I think most of the energy projects and their demand and supply are located in or probably boxed in a local or a regional space, right?
Yeah.
For them to succeed, they are creating more demand and supply or the balance of it in the same space itself. So there is definitely a lot of room, but there is also, it is comparatively difficult task than DePin projects which are like on AI or something else, right? Which can have a global demand or supply at the same time. I think that is one of the crucial factor you highlighted. I really liked it.
Yes, right. You're right. You got me. Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else wants to extend it before
Yeah.
Salah takes over and I can do my immigration?
Yeah, I think for energy, like I have a lot of like because energy requires such kind of sophistication, right? And as you said that like to be widely used, it should be widely accepted by people as well. Like we see that a lot of DePin is being created and a lot of projects are just created because for the sake of or they're trying to create something in the energy space, and that's what I like about Ting's project as well, is that they're trying to solve a real world use case, right? Because evs have just populated at a very high speed, and there are no such tech to provide and to like to complement it. So I feel whenever there is energy that is going to boom at some point of time, there should be complement technology scapes that should be made even for like I don't know, I always come up to GPUs because it's bare by blood, but yeah, with GPUs as well, like if there is something which is happening around compute, it should be really tied up with energy as well. So I feel anything should complement each other. That's the only way it can actually succeed in real world applications.
Does anybody else want to add? Yog, you still with us?
I don't have much to say on the energy aspect, but besides the fact that I think one of the biggest challenges right now regarding energy is obviously the demand with the growth of AI. There's going to be, and quantum computers is going to be immense demand for energy and EV vehicles as well. And to empower communities by creating these grids to grow local economies, I think that's all wonderful. However, I think the technology of batteries and how to store energy is not advancing fast enough. I think battery technology has been stagnant over the last couple of decades in terms of new types of ways to store energy. And so without that being solved, I think there's a real issue there with how it limits how decentralized energy can really grow. I don't know how you guys see that.
I think actually we don't worry too about actually the power storage or this kind of the batteries. There's a quite different technology try to resolve this problem, because all this kind of technology just follow one fundamental physical progress, material progress. So right now because I live in Shanghai, uh, the power storage is just like BYD, Tesla. Actually, every quarter or every half year, the price will count 50 to 20%. So last month we shipped one actually one 101 kWh battery plus charger and solar panel system. They combine all these kind of the thing for one homeowner. The total price we shipped to Mexico City, the price is only 6,000 US dollar. So we can help them to realize the home energy independence of the home energy system. So the total price is 6,000 US dollar. But I can see at the end of the year, it will become to maybe 5,000. So yeah, at that time, I believe actually everybody can have this kind of the solution. Just like Tesla. Tesla right now, they control everything, right? Solar City, Power Watch, Supercharger, and Tesla itself. But we want to open it. Everybody can join Star Wars, Star Power, power pod, all this kind of the technology. And that time, we try to build Internet of Energy, but at an edge, So our energy system right now is quite it's broadcasting system, just like radio, from grids to your home or factory. You cannot send power back to grid. So it's not quite actually different from actually internet we are familiar with. So, but now we have all these kind of the technology to combine them together. I think maybe this is the time to change it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, maybe I can add a
Yeah,
bit
sure. Go
about
ahead.
sure. Add a bit about the decentralization in this energy sector. So based on our experience, because like my co-founder, they have been focusing on this renewable energy industry for like more than 1 decade. And if you check the price of battery and PV, so the price of PV has been declined for like almost 99% for the past 40 years, and the price of battery is declined almost over 90% for the past 10 years. So because of this price, they are like sharply declining, and this kind of like empowers the edge, like Tim mentioned. So this means everyone in the world we can have electricity produced by solar in the future. I mean, so this further drives the decentralization trend in the energy sector. So in the 10 to 20 years, I believe there will be more energy transaction happened in the in the distribution energy network rather than the transmission energy network. So this is like the trend, and this will further influence what Eric mentioned, the AI energy consumption side. So if you guys checked, like yesterday, I saw Sam Altman, he invested another energy company which is doing solar energy generation for AI data center. So in the future, all the AI data center will be more like relied on the independent energy generation farms, either it's solar farms or it's like even nuclear reactors, power plants. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I agree with it.
Anyone else got anything to add, or we'll move on to the next question? All right. So it's the question's for Star Power, but I think it applies to all of you guys. So are there any unique features or innovations in the Star Power's technical stack that you believe sets you guys apart from the competition?
Yeah, I'll keep my answer short. So for Star Power, it's the reason why. I mean, it's like the comparative advantage. So for us, one point is like we have very close connections with the supply side, which means we can deliver cheaper product, but it has even better performance. And also another advantage for us is like we have deeper relationships and understanding in the specific regions like Australia. I mean, Australia, it's like the most developed electricity market in the world. 1/3 of Australian households they have solar panels on their roof, so which cause dramatic volatility to the power grid system. So the demand for the VPP, virtual power plant, is much higher. But this is almost like the compare advantage in the virtual advantage, but specifically from the tech angle, for us, we for the past 1 year we developed the hardware open protocol, so we enable any third parties they can manufacture devices which is compatible with the power protocol, and enable their users to get token from the power protocol. and in the next year, so we will do the third-party integration. So we will support the mainstream battery manufacturers API. So which means their users can use our app to control their device, and they can earn token from Star Power. So by this way, we can leverage our partnerships in the major device manufacturers to leverage like the Web2 users. Yeah.
That's amazing. Does anybody else want to join in?
I guess I'll try to reply this one here. I'm gonna try to keep it short in order to enable everyone to answer. So even though it's something that should be the standard in our in Web3 and in our industry, as Web3 project, we offer different business model uh, to engage, to make people engage with our product, and to make them really win cryptocurrency and earn cryptocurrency from our project. So from using the Mask browser. So the first innovation I would for Mask, I would say it's the different business models. So we enable users not to consume on the network, but to serve other users as well. So if you run Mask browser, or if you run Mask DMesh VPN, which is like the infrastructure level, you can easily earn cryptocurrency by serving others on the network. That's number one. Number two, in terms of the main difference from other networks such as Tor or any others, Mask enables you to route your data through different hubs on the way in and the way out. So that's something that we didn't see before in the industry. That's why we implemented it. And I would also add that we enable you, when you're using the browser or you're using the DMesh VPN, we enable you to select the number of hops your internet goes through. And customizing this, we're kind of sure that this is a first in the industry. So there is no other project offering this. If you're using a VPN, your data generally goes through one hop, but through Mask, you can choose from 1 to 5, and that's how you customize your speed and your privacy through our browser.
I actually vividly remember that Sveron also covered Mask in our DePin spotlight. Like we do a specific bit of DePin spotlight. Like we focus on projects which we see are doing pretty well in the industry, and we have the spotlight of covering those projects and writing about them. And I was just going and I was just checking that did we cover Mask, and yes, I think we did. I think pretty amazing job what you guys have did so far.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We invite like each and every one of the listeners or speakers, or let's say other co-founders and co-partners in the space to use Mask. Like we've built it having the users first in mind, and we enable everyone to submit feedback. And as we're getting really close to mainnet, you can guys use the software. It's on maskbrowser.com, and it's in testnet, so it's free to use. You don't need any tokens or others for you to use it.
And it would be a test for the network as well, right? A bit of load
Yes,
testing. Yeah,
exactly. Like
understand.
Mask, from an infrastructure level, Mask is so different. So it during the testnet, what we're doing is basically we're taking feedback from people about the features, about the business model, about the issues they are facing connecting, if there is any, about how they think of the user experience, because it's very tricky when you're dealing with a private product or a deep in project. It's a very thin line between giving people the best user experience and limiting their privacy and security. So the testnet is a very
Absolutely.
good phase. Is a very
And
good
I think in
phase.
terms of browser segment, Arc has done a good job. Like I've seen like what Arc has really in terms of user experience. I'm not saying decentralization because that is completely different, but I don't know how many people are aware of Arc, but these guys have done pretty great job, and I've used Mask personally, and I really love the experience. Like, it's pretty clean, and it's how easy you can install it. And I would love to see how would you utilize Ferron's compute at some point of time.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, Mask is. I'm not saying that Arc is bad or anything like that. But Mask is very different from an infrastructure or architecture
Yeah,
level. Like the
yeah.
browser is built on top of the network, and it's just one of the projects that could be pushed to the community. Let me give you some alpha. Like everyone, we're preparing an extension. So any Chrome based or Mozilla based, or if you're using Mozilla or any Chromium based browser, and you want to keep it, but you want to enjoy the privacy of Mask, you will soon be able to download an extension and then use your favorite browser, Mask it is, or any other browser on top of the privacy layer. So that's some alpha for you guys.
Yeah, over at Deeper, we're a little bit different because we're hardware infrastructure, and I think that what allows us to do sets us apart from other projects is that currently we already have over 175,000 nodes around the world, so we're certainly a leader in that aspect. Right now, with these nodes, people are able already to use the decentralized VPN efficiently. On top of that, each hardware device is cybersecurity. And the cool thing is that because it is infrastructure, it allows anybody to build decentralized applications on top of our technology to allow these nodes to be used for other things as well. So besides what other open source developers can do, we are also building decentralized storage, decentralized DNS to help localize more efficient internet. And these are all things that node operators and owners are able to benefit from in the future as well. So it's limitless in that because it is hardware, it does not limit our project to just what we're able to do. It allows other people to come in and utilize the network that we're building already. Very minimal work, actually, because all they have to do is be able to build a DApp, connect it to our network, and be able to access these nodes instantly. And for a lot of companies, growing a network is the most costly part of their challenge and acquisition. So being able to come in and access these kind of 175,000 plus nodes right away is something that can get them up and running and get their name out there as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's a very it's truly a challenging part where you try to grow the network, to acquire users, etc. And it could be limited by different factors as well, such as budget for marketing, like competition with other, let's say, other networks. And it's
Absolutely. I
it's
mean,
really amazing.
I would love to work with Mask, for instance, to help you guys your network become even more secure with our hardware as well. Um, Mysterium actually had reached out to me a few months back. They were interested in possibly tapping into our nodes because they're also quite a challenge trying to grow their nodes as well. But something happened on their internally on their side, and kind of discussion on that stopped. And I think it came from the top. So I don't know what that was all about, but I think as DePin projects, we shouldn't see each other as competitors. We should work together to try to empower all the people within the networks, both our communities. And these are things that I would very much welcome any of the listeners or speakers here today to cooperate with us. We have resources that are available to you guys.
I
Yeah,
think, yeah,
that's
amazing.
amazing. That's amazing.
I think Deepin is not the space for competition at all, because but you cannot compete in Deepin, right? Because in terms of infra, or in terms of, let's say, land is limited, right? And these are some limited resources which are there. And similarly, that goes for DePin as well. Like, there is a scope to do a lot of stuff, but right now at this niche where DePin is so young, there is only scope for collaboration and innovation. You cannot compete in this space right now because there is no like, we got to be honest with ourselves. There are users, but how many? And I think our job should be to onboard as many users as we can and people utilizing DePin as well. Like,
I totally agree. I don't know if you guys have heard of Peak Network,
yeah, 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 yes,
PEAQ, right?
yeah.
What they're trying to do is build a network of different projects that can kind of work together, right? So I think what they're doing is great for DePin. We're part of the Peak Network already, and
Oh,
through that network, we're able to talk to a lot of people. Yeah.
yeah, I've heard like they've done some great job in terms of like, I was going through their docs as well, and something, and we are trying to replicate that, not replicate, but try to like take the essence from it. Like the whole Fizznote thing is all around for people to utilize Deepin because everybody has some kind of hardware. I don't know, like if you guys are were so much into gaming, but everybody has some hardware to connect, right? And that can be utilized through for any compute job. Like let's say an example, like Tin wants to study on a data of 1000 batteries. How would he do that? He would really go out and take like some H100 or some kind of machine lease out, and it's going to cost him thousands of dollars to do it. How does he do it on a decentralized network? Is where the fizz nodes comes in. Like everybody of us, we provide compute to Spheron network, and he utilizes Spheron network to do such kind of compute job. And I think I'm gonna shoot you guys a DM, and I would really love to see, like, I really want you guys to try it out as to connect your system and really try out a compute job. And obviously there are like rewards and other things that are attached to it. But as a computing miracle, or I'll not, computing miracle is not possible, but yeah, as a computing amazement that has happened, I would love to see you guys. I'll send you a DM post this, and anybody who's looking for it, you can definitely follow Sferon and me. I'll give you an invite to that.
Great. If I like to add one last thing, kind of to what you said earlier, kind of reemphasize the fact that DePin projects really do not compete against each other. If you think about Web 2, a lot of the platforms are within walled gardens. Hello? What was that sound?
We hear you.
Okay, there was like a
Yes.
laser sound. Freaked me out for a second. So a lot of the Web 2 platforms are within walled gardens, and they don't want to work with anybody. They just want to build their own ecosystem, right? And want people or other subsidiaries of the same company to only kind of work within themselves. And then they want to compete with everyone else. They either want to buy them out or they want to squash them, right? And so with DePin, we're kind of no boundaries, and the more people we work with within the network, with all of our networks, the stronger we become. And so the whole thing with Web3 is that there is no boundaries, there is no walled gardens. Everything's kind of open, and so that's what's gonna make the network so incredible when it's multi-layered with so many different other projects and communities and tools, and to be able to access those things through different gateways without any walls. That is kind of the future we're trying to build. So to see, I know there are projects out there that are very much kind of the mindset of Web 2, but they're a Web 3 project, and they should hopefully reach out more and try to focus more on working together with other projects, especially ones that are well established, you know.
Can't agree more, Eric.
Ting, yeah, go
Thanks,
ahead. I
guys.
think we haven't heard from you.
Yeah, I have the different perspective. I didn't see any, the moat, if you are familiar with the investing business, the investor always ask the founders one question: what's your moat? But in Web3, we want to break all the walls, right? We want to build bridge, lay down all these kind of together. But right now, just like Peak IoTeX, think about that. They want to build a vertical DP ecosystem. But there's layer 0 and Xlayer or even Anglayer from Polygon. So there's all these kind of kernels. So at the very beginning, PowerPod is part of the PK ecosystem and IoTeX. But after Sandeep himself invested PowerPod, we realized there's no this kind of walls. Actually, they are from the fundamental, they are linked together. So to be honest, I didn't see any, like just Eric said, there's no competitive between different projects. The only thing I can say is execution and time. Like PowerPod want to build adapter. We want to use one adapter to link all the private charger together. So we work on this hardware about 2 years. Guys, it's a disaster. You have to make your hands dirty. The cost, the time, actually, you cannot burden anymore. Just like for the first time, we shipped to actually 100 hardware to our terminal users. They live in 60 different countries. The regulation and all these specification requirements from the electrification, they exhausted us. So we realized we made a huge mistake. So we have to call all them back and redesign the whole hardware, whole chip. So you have to make your hands dirty. If you really care about actually your protocol, your software, you have to, know something about your hardware. So if you don't actually do this kind of thing, we use, like I say, all these kind of level 1, level 2, ZK, particle network. We use their wallets. All this kind of thing, just like DeFi Lego. There's a DePin Legos. So we combine them and form a new application. But the two most important parts, one is hardware. Because if you cannot verify the data, the original of the data, everything meaningless, right? You have to take care about very seriously about abstract computing. This is one thing. From the first beginning, you have to prove your community, your data can be trusted or can be verified. Another thing is user experience. For now, we build different actually level ones. I can say, yeah, they are good, but compared to Web2 counterparties, there's a huge gap. So these two kinds of parts, one is actually your hardware, another one is actually your terminal user experience. I think these two kinds of part is, like I said, the boat, because it's related about the execution and the time. You have to put time to it. Yes, this is a little bit of comments to Eric and Dean. Thank you.
Thank you. I like to. Sorry, I'm talking so much, but I get really excited when I talk about DePin, and I haven't really thought about the power aspect so much. But the more I'm listening to you guys speak, the more thoughts that come out. Our goal is really, in order to succeed as well, decentralized anything, DePin, any kind of DePin project, we have to learn to integrate with what is existing now. For users now to kind of use our services, kind of segregated services. Currently, they're still that way, but that's why I'm kind of encouraging more collaboration amongst ourselves. But if you look at private users now, people who have solar panels, people who have different ways of generating renewable resources, they sell their power, their unused power, oftentimes back to the grid, to private or government-owned power companies, and so that they can sell that. So that's kind of Web3 there. However, they're doing it with a private entity. We need to kind of do the same, I think, and that's the direction that we should move towards. And also, like, governments and these Web 2 companies, they don't like decentralization. They don't like Web 3, right? Because it empowers the people and not them. However, we have to reach a tipping point so that these companies have no other choice but to work with us. Otherwise, we will take over. You know what I mean? So we have to get that tipping point as well. So these are kind of our goals as DePin projects.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like DeepIn right now. One thing is that DeepIn right now is a fucking too serious, right? So our community don't even get any preparation for this kind of hardware, all this kind of the installation, how to manipulation, all this kind of the price of the tokens. It's a quite actually challengeable for them. Another thing is in DeepIn, there is a one bad thing is that people want to go back to centralized, like DeFi, that good old memories. Every protocol is open, right? So I can build all any other kind of the protocols, use RV compound of this kind of thing. Right now, DeepIn, no projects open their hardware design. If I don't like the tokenomic of PowerPod, I cannot fork PowerPod. If I want to build another charge service, I have to build from scratch. This is centralized. This is re-centralized. We want to go back to Web2 counterparties. This is total wrong. So if you cannot open hardware, so all this kind of protocol software service is centralized. How can we make a little bit of progress on your work, right? So this is actually the fundamental philosophy behind the whole crypto industry. But right now in DeepIn, I didn't see anybody do this kind of thing. I'm very curious about what happened here and why we don't do this kind of thing.
Well, to answer that question, I think one of the challenges Deeper Network has faced is there's so many different blockchains and kind of interfaces, and I think the interface aspect of it is kind of the challenge. How can we make it so that it's interoperable? And I feel like a lot of the collaborations kind of stop that on its tracks when we get to that discussion. And thoughts of how these two networks can connect and work kind of flawlessly so that the UX for the user is a good experience becomes very difficult. And so I think blockchain, we're all kind of moving in parallel and trying to grow so that we can reach a point where everything kind of works together, everything fits. But we're trying to figure out right now how that fits. And it certainly does not help when, there's a million different layer 2s growing on Ethereum, all fragmented, and they have zero goals of trying to achieve a system that all works together. All they care about is to make their money, and it's so fragmented right now. And so we have to think kind of more in the long term and in a more collaborative kind of a mindset.
Yes, the only problem for Ethereum is Vitalik himself is too young and too fucking rich. He did not bid by any traditional business, right? Like I said, this guy actually totally have no idea about what happened in DP, right? So yeah, that is the only thing.
You,
I
do you
think
want to add
I was
anything to
just
this?
gonna add a
Yeah,
point, and Ting
sure.
just like got me laughing on
There's
the
no
point.
ecosystem in Ethereum, right? Solana, Altex, the Polygon, Pig, yeah, but
I
nobody
think
talk about the DP.
I would kind of not like a bit contradict on it. Like they're trying to build an ecosystem just respectively on tech. We have to understand that Ethereum tech wise is leading ways where we have to understand that on a technical front they're doing a great job. And on an ecosystem front where they have to push more people to build on top of it, they haven't done great yet. But I think that has to come with time, and that comes with like their models of like how would they sustain on a longer run and be viable at any point of time. So that would happen, and I think Ethereum is going to be there. But yeah, there are some great. I think Solana is doing a great job
Yeah.
into Deepin's ecosystem. They have this. Uh, I think I met Jesse, the Uprock. I think he's the CEO of Uprock, and they are doing this Deepin. They have this community of people who are building on top of DePin, and because of the enablement they get through the community itself, there are more people who are trying to build on top of it, and they get support. That is where Ethereum really is falling behind in support. Like the support really sucks because there isn't there. So that's I feel, yeah, I truly accept that point for sure.
So, Yog, do you want to take over? Do you have something to say?
I'm still in a crowded place, but I was really laughing. Yeah, well, Vital Lake is rich, yes, but I think I agree with while building some ecosystem, sometimes what happens, you're focused on a particular side of tech. It is almost impossible to grow both the tech and ecosystem and business use cases. But it doesn't matter. It is just a foundation, and then others can build. I think Polygon also has shown what they are capable of using most of the Ethereum's advantages. So yeah, that will keep growing. Same thing will happen to deep in ecosystems. I liked when someone mentioned that it is the age of collaboration and not competition, right? So this is what is going to happen with the DeepIn. A lot of projects will use each other's facilities and the infrastructure they have already built, and then they will extend that. That's what we are doing. I think most of the things we're building, and so like you keep asking me that are we just connecting the dots? Yes, we are connecting the dots. Supply chain is about connecting the dots. Pharmacy issues are about connecting the dots, and same with consumers, and same with food security and all other aspects. I think it is impossible to expect that one party will build most of the infrastructure. I think we need to collaborate, and I agree with speakers when they say we need to come together and build it together.
I think for togetherness, we need some sort of like technical vantage as well, where people can actually do something around it. And that is where I think most people should really work up upon. Like they should be composable enough that they could work with other projects as well. Like I understand the point where that we have to and we should, but the problem really lies in the tech itself. Like whenever you go out and try to partner with any deepen project, the major blockers or the major bottlenecks are into the tech itself. I think we should design the architecture and the tech in a way where it is composable enough to be plugged into other deepen stuff too. That's what I feel.
I think like with many initial development, whether it is the same happened with Web 2 and is happening with Web 3 as well. Um, when you start something so early, sorry guys,
I
Um,
think they are up with Yog, like
I think
doing
immigration is getting him.
anti-immigration.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we got to pull this up with the question. Yeah, Rick.
I don't want you guys to hear all the loud noises I'm dealing with.
I wanted to say, like, sometimes the best platform, the best blockchain, doesn't always win. And so, you know, right now, Deeper Network is on Substrate, the same substrate as Polkadot. And this actually blockchain is perfect for what we're trying to do, which is focuses on security and interoperability. And these are the two most important things for our network currently. However, the Polkadot ecosystem has been very stagnant as of the last year or two in terms of development, and that's not because they have bad tech. It's a lot of it has to do with the management of it. It also has to do with just the trends that are happening, right? And so we are considering, and we have done a lot of work to fully migrate over to Solana. And the only reason for that is really the ecosystem and the support and the attraction, kind of the attention that could be received being in an ecosystem like that. So I hate the fact that not the best tech wins, and that's the case. If you look back into history, that's been the case for a lot of things, right? Even if you look at Windows versus Linux, these are kind of things that Linux, the freedom of Linux, and if that was to be developed out and being open source that way, it makes a lot more sense, and it's probably the better tech. But Windows, one, because they have the money and they have the support and the monopoly, they had lost a huge sum with Internet Explorer, having to pay billions to the U.S. government, but they have the money to do that. And in order to do that, to keep their power, they just keep going that route.
And also, Eric, you forgot liquidity as well. Solana also brings you a lot of liquidity.
Yes, in meme coins and stuff, right? But that's all cyclical. I don't know how long that'll last, but Solana is certainly hot right now, and it's very popular for DePin projects.
Yeah, and I feel like that's how you build an ecosystem, right? Like everybody wants to join in. For Speron to choose, we chose Arbitrum because of the great support we get. Like we are part of the orbit, and that's, I think it's your weapon of choice, and how do you want to scale it, and does it is really tech aligned, and also support really comes, like I'm so much for emphasizing on support because that what makes an ecosystem great at the end of the day. Like if you're building on top of any protocol or anything, if you get support to build on top of it, that's how you perceive greatness. And even in web 2 products, what I've seen is that products with great support generally do go really long in the game.
When you say support, what kind of support exactly are you looking for?
$50,000 to $200,000 worth of grants. I mean, $250,000.
No, actually, not the grants
No.
itself. I feel I feel it's all about connecting the right people to work with, and also to understand the tech plausibility of it. Let's say if I speak specifically for Arbitrum and our ecosystem right now, Chase has been a great support for the whole Spheron ecosystem. Like whatever partners they bring into, the handshakes they make for us are are very plausible and are sometimes technically aligned as well. And that's what we really seek, is that to understand the plausibility if we can work together, because web3 is full with logo x logo partnerships where there is no truly partnership that is proving along. But once you see that, like you see that there is a tangibility in terms of tech, and people can work together and truly build something in that synergy, that kind of support, and also technical support as well. Like once you see that there are some bloggers on top of it, how do we really do that right now? Like we saw that if there was a possibility of Cosmos ecosystem to be bridged with Arbitrum, I think they were very on toes with that and helped us out with that. So that's what I mean.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
Guys, if you have any parting thoughts, we're closing our segment soon.
Yo, can I give you a thought? I'm going to take that as a yes. I just want to say, I'm super excited, man, to see like so many people that I love in the space actually on the same stage together. This doesn't happen very often, and it's so exciting when I see you, Mr. I take care of broken legs and ankles anywhere in the world, just to make sure people are being taken care of. To Mask, to Eric Ma, like me and Eric go way back, and it's so exciting, man, to see all of these projects finally looking around and going, you know what? There's a ton of synergy, and we should definitely focus on making sure that things are moving forward the best way possible. Not, going against it, not making sure that we want to beat each other, but just elevating the whole space, in its entirety. To I think it was Prakash that was saying this. The partnerships things, those are really, really big. And I can say that, yes, some blockchains absolutely facilitate some of those things. But remember, there's been people in the space that's been here for a while, and they want to help people grow. They want to help connect, each other. Perfect example is like I see DePin Connect down there. That's somebody that connects people, and it's not a matter of, hey, I want to make sure I'm extracting value out of these companies. It's a matter of growing this ecosystem and allowing people to just have better experiences. And when I saw the announcement that you guys were going to be putting this on, I was super excited. Hopefully I get to see some of you guys at Token 2049, because it's, I'll be honest, like the reason I go to conferences so I can see the people that I really love in the space. It's cool. It's great when we get to see, builders building, but it's so much better when I can see the people that really care, that are here for the long term, building some incredible things. Like, to me, that's the epitome of what the space is all about. Yes, I love you, Eric.
Well, Victor, I'm going to be at Token 2049 next week, so we have not met in person, so we definitely have to meet up.
Let's go. Wow. I'm so excited, man.
That's where the sound's coming from. Jeez.
Yeah, action with his sound effects.
I do what I can. I'm just really, really excited to see the stage with so many legends just working together and collaborating. That's huge.
Great, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for that action. Do you guys have any parting thoughts? We'll be closing in our segment soon. Eric, Prakash, Mask.
I think I'll just add, let's meet up in Token, guys, and let's see each other. I'll be sending you invites to a small side event which we are doing, meeting our partners, and also would love to see. And anybody who's listening to this, you guys are always invited. Just follow Sferon, and we have already listed the event over there, and would love to have you. We have a great capacity, and I'm also gonna send you Fizz as well. So let's see how you can connect your idle compute to a network. So yeah, let's do that. And thank you so much, guys, for having me.
Thank you, guys. See you in Token 2049. If I have to stop somewhere, I will definitely get my visa done.
Can I have a few minutes to tell my last story?
Please do.
Yeah, in Chinese culture, there's a very old story named Yan Gong loves token. Yan Gong and loves dragon. In the very old times.
Okay, before you proceed, I was in Sijumbana, and it was awesome.
Yeah. There's a guy. He loved the dragon, right? So he built a house. Every wall is painted the picture of dragon. He cried every day, every night for dragon. So someday the real dragon was touched by his story. So he decided to show his face to this guy. But when the dragon came to his house, he was scared to shit, So he just escaped. So this story, I think everybody familiar with it. So which means a realistic expectation about something we don't really love or understand. I want to say the expectation right now for the whole crypto industry is mass adoption. But the dragon is DePin itself. When DePin shown up, every venture capital, every community members are right now a little bit scared. I cannot say they are scared to shit, but we are not prepared. We want to go back to entertainment coin, like meme coin, all this kind of thing. So, but in DePin industry, I urge the founders have to some guns. You have to stick something. You have to believe something. So this is what I want to say. Yeah, I know right now it's a very hard time because the VC, the second market, the first market, they do not believe DePin, but keep building. I still have faith in DePin. What will happen in next 6 months or next 12 months. Because think about it, after 1 decade, what AI industry delivered to people and what actually the opposite crypto industry. We always overpromise but under-deliver. So DePin should remember one thing: under-promise, over-deliver. This is only successful factor for our founders in this specific sector. Yeah, this is my last, very old story, but I want to use it to express my little bit actually understanding what the right situation in our industry. Thank you.
Amazing story, man. We'll definitely make a cut of this and keep publishing.
Well, he
Great,
has an
thank you.
old story. I like to finish with the newer story, real quick. This is
Cool.
from the movie.
Do it.
The movie Catch Me If You Can, Leonardo DiCaprio. If any of you haven't seen it. So 2 little mice fall into a tub of milk. The first mice kind of gave up and drowned. And the second mouse fought so hard that he churned that milk into butter and he crawled out. Guys, we're DeeperNaut. We're that second mouse. Let's do this.
Yeah. Let's fuck back, okay? Cool.
Thanks a
Love
lot,
it,
guys,
love
for
it,
joining.
guys. Awesome. Speak to you soon. Next week, maybe we won't, but the following week for sure.
Yo, here's the 60-second that I want to make sure that everybody gets out of this, because this is really, really critical. And I love doing this for spaces and only for the ones I really, really love. And this is definitely one of them. DePin is a narrative that's been around for a long time, and it feels like people are just catching up on it. So if you guys are in this room, I want to remind you, you're actually early. People are just waking up to what this is all about, and it's going to go places. It's going to go somewhere really, really big. I've been able to profit pretty decently on this stuff. I just want to remind you guys that there is still a chance for everybody else to get involved and get into this thing. And the best way to do it, well, be part of spaces like this. Follow FarmSend, Mask, Eric, and everybody else here on stage. Yo, you are the man. I appreciate you putting these together. It is so incredible when we have people that care about the same things, wanting to bring the space forward and making it better. So like I said, make sure you check these projects out and everything that they're doing, because they are not only good projects, but there are some incredible people behind it. We'll see you at the next one.
Amazing, man. You're doing a lot. Keep doing it.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
See you in
everyone.
Singapore. Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Have a good event.
All right, and there we have it. So it's quite long, boring in parts. I mean, I know DePin isn't everybody's cup of tea, but there's a lot of really good information in there that is really important. And Eric did really well, and they all had really nice things to say about Deeper Network, which is fantastic. So that is it. I just thought I would share this with you guys. It's really important in the whole Deepin space, and I will see you on Sunday for the update. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.